Well, hello and good morning to the To My Younger Self show. I am coming to you live on the Dear Daughter page. My name is Zoe Baraka. It is so good to see you. How are you doing today? It is a cloudy Tuesday, the 1st of December. Oh my God, we all made it. Now, if only we can make it to the other side of this month, which is the 30th of December. But I do believe we will. Once again, my name is Zoe Baraka. I am coming to you live on the Daughter page, and the show is To My Younger Self, where we tell interesting stories, interesting experiences, and what we wish we could have done different when we were younger, learning from the past so we can move into the future. I have a wonderful guest today, joining us all the way from California, Los Angeles. It's 4:30 a.m. over there, so you can imagine he must really love our show to actually wake up this early for it. I'm going to introduce him very soon, but before we do, if you're on Instagram, you can find us at the Dear Daughter series on Instagram, or you can find me on my personal page, which is the Zoe Baraka 9 at on Instagram, and also the Dear Daughter series on Facebook. We are also on YouTube. We're broadcasting on all these platforms at the same time, believe it or not. So this is really exciting. It's so exciting to be able to do that finally. Listen, I am not able to see you, so please, as always, go ahead and say hello, say hi, say good morning, hug me virtually, whatever you need to do, go ahead and do it, okay? All righty. I'm going to introduce our guest today. His name is Anthony Nkwocha. Good morning, Lynn. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. Anthony is an actor from Ghana. Well, I would call him a Nigerian Ghanaian. He's laughing so hard right now in the green room. He's an actor. He's a commercial model. He's an advertiser and a graphic designer. Anthony has a passion in photography and TV production. He has featured in over 20 TV commercials in Ghana since 2008 till date. Believe it or not, I've actually known Anthony's probably a little longer than that. Yes, he has done some work with some brands in Ghana like MTN, Latex Foam. There we go. My phone is, doing that thing. CalBank, Shield Paint, YOLO, SIC Insurance, Super T, and a lot more. He has featured in TV productions such as Shirley from Pomans's Adam's Apple Season 2, V Republic, XOXO, Sadia, 40 and Single, Bed of Roses, Beauty, and a lot more. And he is also married with a son. The most important of all of this introduction is the fact that I have known Anthony for at least 15 years. That is ridiculous. I actually met Anthony on a TV production that I was working on, I believe. And I think his name fascinated me. So I pulled a Baraka and started talking to him. And that is how Anthony and I became friends. The rest is history. There's a lot more there, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce Anthony right now into the show. Well, hello, Anthony. How are you doing?
Hi. What's up? You're looking good.
It is so good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a bit cold, but I'm good.
All right, there we go again with that coldness. It's about 50
Yeah, I told
in
you.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, when your body is not used to certain things, you just work on the go.
I hear you.
So,
I hope the heat is cranked up and you have your gloves on and everything.
oh no, no, today I didn't put on my boxing gloves. I'm good. It's not as cold as it was yesterday, though.
I
It's
hear
it's
you.
better. It's better today.
All right,
How
let's jump right into your story.
Yeah. So you were saying I'm an actor. Let me tell you my first. experience, my very first experience was at St. Kizito Catholic Church. It was around Nima and about thereabout. And we had done all the rehearsals and everything. And then on the day of the acting, which was a Good Friday heading to Easter, we normally do this Passion of Christ thing where we crucify Jesus. And so I was Pontius Pilate. And when it got to my line, I was doing my thing, and then it got to this one particular line I always had a problem with, and I forgot my lines, and I totally forgot I had the mic on, and I said, "Oh shit!" And the whole thing echoed. My goodness, I'll never forget this day. The whole thing echoed in the church, and everybody was literally on the floor. But my friend read the script again, so it was a story kind of thing. He was narrating it and we were acting it out. So he went back on the line again, and then I remember the line and I went on with it. So that was my very first experience. After that, it's been a different story. So the story I want to share today is a personal experience. It's something that's dear to me, and I think that a lot of people need to come to realize that now. There are a whole lot of things you want to tell your younger self when you grow old. You get to this point, because we've all made that kind of mistake. So I grew up with my dad and my mom, my sister. I was born in Ghana, Accra, lived in Accra. And at a young age, I think my mom and my dad separated when I was about 5, 6. I remember I was in kindergarten then at Bishop High School, and I would hear her talk about leaving. I didn't really understand, because at that age you really can't make sense of anything that goes on in the house, but nobody really tells you the details. So I returned from school one day and go to her room, and everything is gone. Like, I couldn't find any of her things. And you know what that does to you at that age? You've known somebody like for 5, 6 years, and then all of a sudden you come home and you don't find this person. You are hoping that she will come back, but it never happened. Then you're sitting in the house, few months later, someone new comes in. For every relationship that begins, whether it's marriage, friendship, or whatever you put it, the beginning is always nice. You the other person tries to treat the other one nicely. You try to get along, so you're okay. So I'm this kid who has been pampered by his dad, because my dad was a type who didn't really believe in laying their hands on kids and beating them and all that. So he would be firm with you. That's who he is. Very nice guy. He'll be firm with you. He always encourage you, make sure you do what you do. But my problem with him was he was never around. So I knew that, my sister knew that. So when this new relationship came up, we didn't know.
With another woman?
With another woman who is now coming in to be your mother.
Wow.
So we were not, in the beginning it's a bit awkward. You don't know how to relate to this person, because you never known them. There was nothing like she was coming to the house and leaving, and she just literally boom,
She
was in the house. Wow. So we were a bit thrown off guard. So when she came in, for the first few months that we were, she was there, everything was okay, until she just went off track. And my sister and we've never really been used to that kind of treatment, being maltreated or being beaten or being punished in a certain way, working long hours and all that. So the first time she did it, like how every pampered kid would do, your dad comes home and you go and report.
Right.
You're like, because when he comes,
you mean she made her hands on you?
Yeah, they will lash you with anything she can find. It's not like it's it's not like it's maybe it's the hand, or like
Right.
literally anything is a weapon. Like anything is a punishment tool for her. It could be a wire, it could be a belt, it could be her hand, it could be a stick, it could be even that stick we used to,
For the back.
bankun, Ghana people, we call it benkuta, those.
Yes.
Yeah, so anything was anything go. And one of the punishments that I remember very well is you'd carry a chair like that, and this part of your arm doesn't need to come down like this, because when you lift the chair, you're facing the wall.
Right.
You don't see what's behind you. So you lift it like that, and then your hands don't have to come down like that. Because
Wow.
when it does, you don't know, she's always behind you. You don't even know when she's gonna strike. So we always had to lift it that way. And it got to a point I got used to it, because I mean, there was no way I was gonna hold up my hand for that long, because at
Wow.
the point you begin to sway,
Yes, right.
and then you begin to come down.
You reported her to your dad, and
Yeah, so I reported it to we told my dad about it,
mm,
and he really got mad.
right.
Like, he was so angry. He confronted her, and she apologized, and we thought, oh, good. I mean, this is great. But that was just a show, because when he left the next day, we got like times three of what we usually got, because she said, you guys have resorted to reporting me. Okay, I'm always here with you. Your dad is not always around, and we know that was the truth. He was not
Right.
always around. So because we reported it the first time, after that, every other thing that came after that day, we never said a word. We
Wow.
always kept it. We always kept it to ourselves.
Because
Until we
you
grew.
get double punishment if you did.
Yeah, you always get it. And as a kid, you get scared of those things,
Right.
because your dad is not there. And so we really had a really tough time. So I think when I was about 15, I made a promise to myself. And this is where it's important, because sometimes we have this thing in our society, or in
In
the
our culture.
in our culture, that says that the adult is always right. I don't think we should be putting that in the head of kids, that the adult is always right, because the moment you do that, when an adult is doing something wrong to a kid, you the kid cannot, because in that kid's mind, the kid is telling him or herself that if I do this, the adult is going to be right.
Mm-hmm.
It means I don't have any opportunity to do this.
Yes.
So if I was speaking to my younger self today, I would tell my younger self to speak up,
Mm.
because the truth about the matter is, whether I spoke up or not,
You still got
I
beat.
still got the same treatment. So maybe if I had said something, maybe it wouldn't have lasted that long. Maybe something would have changed. I mean,
Mm.
I'm on good terms with her now,
Right.
but I feel, something could have been done earlier
Right.
than happen. So I I always so I made a promise to myself when I was 15, that if I ever make it out of this, and I get to the point where I get married,
Mm-hmm.
one, I am going to make sure that my kids get everything I didn't get, which was time with my dad.
Mm.
He was away 80% of the time, 10% of the time, 20% when he's home, he's either asleep, or in his own zen. And
Mm.
he'll probably spend like maybe an hour with you, chatting and laughing and making you happy. He would give you anything. But I mean, it wasn't about what I got. It was that connection and that protection I needed that
Right.
I didn't get.
Right.
So I told myself that if I grow up, my kids are not going to go through it, and I'm going to make sure that I do everything in my power to keep my marriage, going to the end. Because broken homes are not a place where, you raise. I mean, some mothers come in and they are really good, and that percentage is really slim. And
Mm.
that's the reality. It's
Yeah.
really slim.
Right.
So if we don't talk about some of these things, and if anybody is listening out there, any young person, if you're single, about to get married, I mean, look, you don't want to get you want to make sure you choose the right partner and get into this, because you don't want to bring kids into this world and expose them to that kind of danger, because everybody will come in with their own kind of baggage,
Right.
and everybody comes in trying to fight for their own.
Right.
So if your mom or your dad is not around, and if you're a single parent out there, if you're bringing somebody into your family to meet your kids or to live with them, make sure the rules are spelled out right and let them understand it, and know what they are getting into before you allow them into your space to do whatever they're supposed to do, because that is very important. Because if my dad had done that, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have gotten to where we
How
got to,
far
which was
and emotional,
yeah
definitely emotional abuse went into.
yeah
Wow, what a powerful story!
yeah
Thank you so much for sharing that story, guys. I
yeah
you learned something from it today. Kendi, it is so good to see you, my sister. How are you? I haven't seen you on this show in a very long time. I'm so glad to see you. And those of you in Nigeria, good afternoon. Those of you in Kenya, good afternoon. And of course, those of you in Ghana, good afternoon. It is so good to see everybody. Today, Tony shared a story about speaking up. And, corporal punishment is really something that is very prevalent in Africa. Well, for Ghana, at least, those of us who grew up there, I've shared a lot of stories about how I got a lot of corporal punishment too. But in my case, I had both my biological father and mother together doing it with a sense of purpose. So, I mean, I knew what I did and I knew exactly what I was getting. But when it is somebody who is abusing you, because you're not maybe exactly their child, that is a little different. And we have to be very careful about that, especially in this day and age where parents are more out of the house than they're in the house, So thank you so much for sharing that story, Tony. I appreciate it. And what a beautiful reconnection, though. I mean,
it's good to see you. You're looking fantastic, fantabulous.
Thank you.
I remember when we met at NAFTI. Actually, the NAFTI production was my it will be my very first production as an adult, because my first production was what I told you about, the experience. Right. But NAFTI was that experience, and it was
that
it's true.
Celebrity status that you have now. Wow, what a journey!
Oh no! Please don't take it there. Please, no, nobody knows me. I can walk through an airport now, and they'll even tell me to walk.
Not in America yet. Ghana definitely are big wig, and I truly appreciate you giving us your time, your story, your talent, and skills. Guys, as always, we managed to keep it under 20 minutes. I truly appreciate everyone for hanging in there with me. I know because we're streaming on multiple platforms, I haven't been able to see a lot of the comments yet, but I'll take time out and we're going to definitely answer everything. Tony, I'm going to let you go back into the green room so you can get back to sleep. I am so sorry you had to wake up, that early for us. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Now you're being kicked out of the studio into the.
Thank you. See you later.
All right, guys, a little housekeeping. Listen, we are definitely right now on at least 4 different platforms. We are on YouTube. That is the Dear Daughter series on YouTube. We are on Instagram. That's the Dear Daughter series on Instagram. Personally, I am at Zoe Baraka 9 on Instagram, and also you can find me on Facebook at Zoe Baraka and the Dear Daughter series on Facebook. I truly appreciate your time. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you again next week. Next week, we have a returning guest, author and writer extraordinaire, Dalasi Senya, will be here with us again, telling another amazing story from his childhood in Africa. This is the To My Younger Self show. My name is Zoe Baraka, and in this show, we tell fascinating African stories. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.